This is Greg Noyes of Pacific West Home Inspections, and today I'm doing a house in Chatsworth. It's Friday, June 27th, and I'm going to go over how to shut off utilities. The first thing we're going to look at is the water, and that's located at the front of the house. The second thing is going to be gas, and that's on the left exterior. Then also the electrical panel, the main one, we'll find that on the left side of the house. So we'll start with the water. The main line from the street to the house is 1-inch copper, which we like to see. And the handle for this is right here. Let's see if you can see this. And it's a little hard with the shadows here, but there's a handle here, a yellow handle. You push on down, it shuts it off. And then it has another device, it's a pressure regulator. And that's set too high that the air is not working at all. So your security system here is the dogs of the neighborhood. So we're at the left exterior of the house today, and you see this is the gas meter. And on the street side there's a valve, and you turn the tab with a wrench 90 degrees. When it's perpendicular across the pipe, then it's off. And there is also a shutoff valve here. And this is an automatic gas shutoff valve, and the way it works on a 5.4 earthquake, it'll automatically shut off. Also on the sides of the house, we find the electrical panel. And the very top switch is your main disconnect, and you switch it over, flip over to the right, it turns off all the power. And if you notice that there's no labeling on any of the breakers here. Before we go on the roof, I want to cover the block walls here. These are the older type. They're 4.5 inch, and they float. There's no supports in them. So we recommend that you may want to add some additional supports to them so they don't fall during an earthquake. Also in the backyard is you have your air conditioning system, and the other half of it is up in your attic with your furnace. There's a porch extension here, a sunroom extension. They convert it into a living space. There is a permit on it, but I think they've done some retrofits since they issued the permit, as the windows look newer, and there's a lot of newer electrical to it as well. This arbor out in the back is been added, and the rafters are the wrong size. It's sagging, and it's unknown if there's actually a foundation footings under each of these posts. I kind of doubt it, so you may want to check for permits for your patio overhang arbor. Give you another view of that. So now we're off to the roof. I was talking about the block walls, and on the left side you can actually see where the wall is moved, and there's no rebar in it. So I'm headed up the roof. It's got a composition shingles, and it looks like it's one layer. And from the way the rigidity of it, I'd say it's probably maybe only 4 to 6 years old. And there's a gutter system around the front of the house. And as I get up here, the very top of the roof is a ridge cap. And now with the different position of the sun, these are more worn. They look more worn than they were this morning. So I think I'm going to up the age to 6 to 8 years. And when this is usually around 10 years, the ridge caps, you have to replace them, and you can get another 10 years out of the roof. So you got some loose nails here too. And today's This is the plumbing vent the drain line guy used to run his camera down the vent. It's a transite pipe, and it's cracked in the attic, and that's going to be on the report. This is a abandoned furnace vent here, and it should be terminated, and you may have rainwater coming through the vent cap. If you notice, there's holes. It's rusted, so it's all rusted out. These whirly birds, these are broken, not doing much. Now this vent for your furnace is too short. It should be a minimum of 5 feet high from the unit itself. It's only about 3. And then over here you have a masonry chimney. It's covered with plaster or stucco, so I can't see the condition. But it's a unlined brick chimney. Got cracks in the chimney cap, so that will be on the report too. So we're going to go to we're over the garage now, and that whirly bird does spin, and the one over your kitchen area is broken as well. It's not working. Now the very back of the house, you can see this porch was a metal sunroom at one time, and they've done some converting to it, made it into a livable space. So the flashing between the roof, slope roof of the house, and the roof for your sunroom, you can see the flashing is loose here. And there's been some repairs down here as well. The layer atop probably needs to be recoated. Some deteriorated areas there. These are 2 vents. One is for your water heater, and that is an old transite pipe, which we don't use anymore. And this other one is your dryer vent, and it's the wrong type of vent connector termination here. That's not rated for dryer vents. So again, you can see the rear of the house. You're getting a lot of wear on your roof, so it's going to be about at least 8 years old. And there's no permit for the roof. Again, this is Greg Noyes, Pacific West Home Inspections, and please read my report. And I can be reached at 818-271-0417. The back room of the house appears to be like a sun porch type of addition. They have a metal roof to it, and then they came back and did a stucco exterior siding on it as well. The on your perimeter fence is a 6-inch block fence on your left side, but there's no rebar in it, and you can see movement in it and displacement of the bricks here and gaps. And then the back fence is a 4.5-inch, and on the right side again it's a 4.5-inch block without any rebar, and it's leaning towards the house. Also the back of the house, in the area of the front of the house, the sprinklers spray against the stucco. And stucco is like a huge sponge, so we like everything to spray away from the siding, stucco siding. So now I'm in the garage area, and they've done a lot of modifications to this house, so I'm trying to keep my eyes peeled for you. This wall here is adjacent to your back bedroom, and it's considered to be a firewall. Now the gaps and joints of the drywall, they're supposed to be what we call fire taping, and then 1 coat of compound over that, and which they haven't done. And it's 1/2-inch drywall. Typically they use 5/8. The other concern I had out here is the your water heater. It's one that was put in, the serial number is, looks like a newer one, 13, be a year old. And whoever put it in never read the book on how to do it. There's a big gap here where the vent meets the dampener. So you're going to have carbon monoxide coming out of here. It's supposed to be 3 screws here. They have the old transite pipe still in place. This pressure relief valve, we call it TPR, drains. We like to see it drain to the exterior of the house, or exterior of the building, garage in this case. And this here, they've actually bootlegged it into the sewer line, and they use glue and glued it in place. So this is no good. And plus now I've left a hole here for, it violates your firewall penetration. There's a gap between the water heater and the wall, so this thing shakes. Back here. So an earthquake is not going to help you very much. The gas line, they've shut off the, we'd like to see a minimum of a 3/4 feed, and it only has a 1/2-inch gas line. So that's put in wrong. They're missing a sediment trap. It's a piece of pipe that comes down here, and that's gone. And they built this, elevated on a metal or wood frame. When you put a water heater over a wood frame, it's supposed to be have a drip pan underneath it, so there's no drip pan. And behind the water heater, this is a firewall area, so they left that open, and that's still being closed. Quite a lot of things wrong, and talking about more about garage safety. This door here is supposed to be a 20-minute door, solid door, and you feel it's hollow, and it also doesn't self-close. So it should self-close here. Bring the camera around. The opener doesn't auto-reverse. They're missing a handle. We got one here. Let's see another one here. Your secondary beam lights are too high. There's kids in the family here, and these should be 4 to 6 inches off the ground. And minor cracking in the garage floor. And this platform they put in, it looks like they use nails, so that should probably come down too. It won't be structurally sound during an earthquake. This is Greg Noyes, Pacific West Home Inspections. And before I leave here, missing a ground fault interrupter type of outlet. And I could be reached at 818-271-0417.